Coach, take us through what you saw in that last play by Franz, and how big of a shot was it for him on such a big night?
I mean, it was big time. They missed the free throw, make it a 2-point game. He comes down, doesn't have to rush it, lines it up, but that's the thing. It's like we work on those spacing situations, those shots. He works on those shots. He's not afraid of big moments, and that's what we've asked him to do. I could not be happier for this team, but for him, who puts in such an amazing amount of work, and to see that, fall. It's just like this group. They battled. They battled this entire game, and I just can't say enough about this group. Can't say enough about Franz and his work ethic and this group's grit that they continue to show. Cool. That's fine with me.
26 shots for Franz overall. I know he's talked about having to kind of get into the mental gear of being even more aggressive with Paolo out. What have you and your staff done to kind of encourage him to push his game and press in that regard, to kind of keep being aggressive in that way?
Tell him to be uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable, because he is a young man that wants to do all of the right things. By the game of basketball, by his work ethic, by his professionalism, by the teammate that he is, he wants to do all of the right things. And so sometimes taking tough shots is not always the thing that he wants to do. He just wants to make the right play. But sometimes those tough shots are exactly what this team needs, and we saw that tonight.
Hi, Coach. 68 points by Team Germany today. How good is your German? And on a more serious note, was there ever a moment where you thought this is going to be a tough one to win, or did you feel like this was going to be in your hands at all time?
No, we knew coming in here it was going to be a tough game. We didn't make any excuses about it being a back-to-back. Our guys made shots, and that's the one thing that I've been telling Franz and Mo. I think people forget. That the fact that they won the bronze, and then they won the gold, and then they are the fourth best in the world in the Olympics. And those two are part of carrying that group. So they're capable, and that's what people, I think, sometimes forget, that they've been doing this for a while, and he's been doing it for a while. He's just continued to step in to that role of he has to dominate. He has to dominate games and be the focal point, and understand exactly what we need him to do.
In the context of Mo, you're talking pregame about just how he's always had a knack for being able to score pretty quickly. Specifically tonight, what was the key for him to be able to do that?
He just found switches. They got into a switch package. He found his way around the basket, making the right play, reading the defense, and I think he just finds certain times and certain ways to find a way to get the ball in the basket. He had a couple duck-ins, missed a couple, but his ability to read the defense. They ran a play downhill. They pre-switched it. He pops out, knocks down the three. And those situations are partly because he studies the game. The coaches do a tremendous job of preparing them for situations and what they can see, so it becomes second nature.
Coach, kind of two parts. First off, do they draw him up tougher than this second night of a back-to-back against an undefeated team at home? You guys are shorthanded, end of a West Coast trip, and LeBron and AD are going. And then secondly, your group's ability to handle that. What does it say about them?
That our coaches do an unbelievable job of preparing these guys for every single moment. Our performance staff, getting them the rest that they need. Talk about being one of the most best recovered team in this league. So the guys playing a night, second night of a back-to-back. Franz ends up playing 38. Jalen plays 39. Last night we see him go down a little bit, and he bounces back, has a big game. So it says everything about this staff, the group, and what they're capable of doing and being prepared in these big moments, because they've been there before.
Yeah, I apologize if this was asked earlier. I came in late. On that last play, were you thinking get three and live with the shot, win or lose, or was that just Franz audibling to the best shot he could get on that possession?
That was great players making great plays. At the end of the day, he made the big-time play. We could have got the two, but he saw something, felt it, read it, and took the shot. And I tell you, that when people talk about good, bad, lucky, unlucky, he works on that. That's the thing. He works on those shots, big shots. 3, 2, 1, take the shot. He works on that on a consistent basis, and our coaches do a phenomenal job with him on that.
How did you feel about the zone from a process perspective, like in terms of how you guys were executing it? And I guess in general with the length that you have on the perimeter, how does that change some of the geometry of the way you run it?
I probably will have to go back and look at the numbers behind it, but just the numbers tell, I mean, just from looking at it real time, it seemed to be pretty good.
And then lastly, J.I.'s defense at the end there, just with the plethora of defenders you have, to be able to throw out a lineup like that at the end, and for him to play the way that he did on that possession.
I mean, our coaches did such a tremendous job in that scenario, going offense, defense, getting the right lineups in the game, understanding that we had the iPad in the huddle, knowing exactly what play they're going to run, how to sniff it out, and J.I. did a tremendous job of that, and it made AD take an extremely tough shot, down at the end. So it just goes to the preparation of these guys being prepared for these moments, as well as our coaches doing a great job preparing these guys for these moments.
Thanks, Coach Mose.
Thank you.
From your perspective, take us through what you saw on that last shot by Franz and the play as it was developing.
I was just talking to Dante out there. We get him the ball. He's at the top of the key, and I'm looking, and we have a guy on each wing. You normally want to cut one out so you have space, wait to drive. But it got to the point where I didn't want to cut and mess up his spacing, so I just stared at him. I said, "Bud, you got to hit it." Man, he got to his bag, stepped back, shot the rainbow, and it went in. It's just crazy. We were joking afterwards how eerily similar it was to last year's game here. You know what I'm saying? Down the stretch, big plays. And then we get a chance to win it. And, boy, you're special. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. That's like a movie moment.
Jalen, just being a part of this game, it was a great game all around. LeBron was amazing. Anthony, amazing. Your team hung in there. What was it like just to be involved in this kind of game?
Oh, man. When you're going blow for blow with, I think the greatest that's touched this basketball court, in the history of this game. And AD is probably one of the greatest bigs who has ever touched, this court in the history of the game in LA. On a back-to-back, when you're trading blows, like a heavyweight title fight, you know what I'm saying? And I think as a competitor, that's exactly what you want. That's exactly the moments that you want to be in. So this is one of those games that, when we're done, 10, 15 years later, we'll be able to hold on to this one. This is one we can talk about. And remember we came into crypto, Bron and AD, in their best night, at their best. We came in and silenced the arena. That's a crazy feeling.
That second quarter, you got hot from the corner. It looked like you were talking to somebody in the corner about something. Can you tell us what that was about?
I love talking to the crowd, and it's never disrespectful. We just always crack jokes, just so to involve them in the game. You know what I'm saying? Continue to keep it a game. You know what I'm saying? Light, fun-hearted. They bring laughs and smiles out of me. Which is one of my favorite parts. About hooping. Is everybody who's involved in the game, coaches, players, fans, refs, everybody plays a part in making the game special. So to be able to come out, hoop, knock down a couple shots, and have some conversations with some dope people in the arena watching the game makes for a great night.
Jay, didn't get a chance to say, congratulations on all your success, bro. But got a chance to see you this summer. A lot of work with Phil Handy, slowing the game down for you, asking a lot of questions too. But how have you feel like your game has grown, over these last couple of years?
Man, those hour and a half, 2 hour sessions every morning, seeing them come to fruition, feeling the change that made to my game, that time spent with Phil Handy, was super dope. You know what I'm saying? And, evolution is really a hard thing because sometimes you don't feel the growth in the moment, you know what I'm saying? You continue to add to your pot, continue to add good and build, but sometimes you don't always see the results, you know what I'm saying? So, as this process and my journey continues to go on, to slowly but surely see these things, start to, come to who I am as a basketball player is really dope. It's really dope to sit back, reflect on, not only my work, but the people who have poured into me and helped me get here. Phil, my dad, Yuli, a ton of people who deserve a lot of credit. Nate Dogg, Randy, 1T for helping me improve as a basketball player, and to come out here and put on performances, and help us get wins is the only payoff that I want. So, super dope. Thank you.
Franz, just take us through that last play, what you were seeing as you were going down the court, and what your mindset was, going into that shot.
Yeah, obviously we were down 2. Got lucky with them missing a couple free throws at the end. And yeah, we didn't have any timeouts, so at first I had AD on me, and then we found a way to switch that matchup a little bit. And yeah, they were set up pretty well, so I didn't really see any driving lane, and I felt like the one before felt really good. So yeah, and I think in those moments you don't really think too much, but guess I made a good call.
What was it like just being out there in that fourth quarter? It was like high-level basketball. LeBron was playing outstanding, Anthony, of course, and your team hung in there and you pulled it out.
Yeah, no, obviously them two, they're going to do that every night. I thought our group showed a lot of character, a lot of growth. And I think obviously that game could have went a couple different ways too. And but the way we fought for 48, and even with them making some really good plays, I thought we made really good plays too.
What was it like to hit a game winner in the NBA? That's you don't get a lot of those opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. No, it was a crazy experience, crazy adrenaline rush, and I think about those moments always the coolest. Just to see your teammates so happy for, obviously for the team and for myself as well.
Jamal talked to us before about how much you practice those moments. So was that something that you were able to kind of visualize as you came up the court?
Yeah, down two, never just want to settle for a shot, I think. But the way they were playing me, yeah, I do work on my off the dribble three a lot, and you work on it for those moments. So I stepped into it with confidence, and it felt really good.
Were you thinking three for the win as you came up the court, or were you just thinking best shot?
No, just best shot. I would have taken it to the basket too, but like I said, I didn't see any driving lanes. They had two on each side, pretty much in the gap, and I knew I was a little taller than Redder, so I just tried to shoot over him.
Hey, Franz, two questions.
Yeah.
Number one, in the context of your career so far, how big was this shot for you personally?
Yeah, probably the biggest shot I made so far. Yeah.
And I said it earlier, the three Germans scored 68 points. To me, that's as a German coming here, that's absolutely impressive. But this game was such a big game here, playing at the Lakers. Can you talk a little bit about how big it is playing like at Crypto.com Arena against the Lakers?
Yeah, it's obviously I think a special feeling. I think the arena, the history of it, obviously of the franchise, obviously the players that play here are legends of our game. So I think it's always a special game, and you got to have the right mindset to come in here and get a road win. Like I said, I thought we, even though they made great plays, I thought we stuck with it and made some great plays ourselves.
You've been looking really comfortable with your three this season. I was curious if there was any special vindication in hitting a shot like that after kind of the up and down nature of how things went for you way on the arc last year.
Yeah, for sure. I talked to you about it. It's a lot of this stuff is mental too for us players. So, for me to get over that hump a little bit over the summer, and carry over into the season, means a lot.
And what did you see tonight from a playmaking perspective? It seemed like you were really whipping to the weak corner a lot. Like, what was kind of the read you were making? What was the opportunity you were seeing as a passer?
Yeah, they switched it up a little bit throughout the game. At the start, a lot of them were out of the post where they sent the second defender. Then I think I got a lot of them in transition as well, which I thought we did a really good job today of making them get back fast and get easy looks like that. And at the end they sent two in the pick and roll, and I was able to find the corner and the roller on one or two of those. Yeah.
Franz, over these last 9 games, you're averaging over 28 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. I want to ask you how your game feels like it's developed from your rookie season all the way down into now.
Yeah. Obviously the situation is a special one for everybody on the team with guys being out, and obviously try to do my best to step into that new role and take on the challenge. And I think I've come a long way since I came into the league. at first I really didn't play that much pick and roll, and in my rookie season got to try out a lot of stuff and was put in some new situations for me too. And I was just talking about it. Last year was at times a struggle for me. So I think progress is never just linear. So it's going to continue to go up and down and stuff like that. And I think it's just a matter of just staying level-headed throughout it.
Did you feel like you were still being slept on, like coming out of the draft? Because I remember, never forget, Glushan told me, he was like, man, I got one of him. He's going to be really, really good. When you came out, do you feel like you got slept on a little bit coming out?
I knew I wasn't going to have the same, notoriety, I guess, as some of the top draft picks. It's just the way it goes when you're from a different country, I think. But I really don't have a problem with that at all. That's not why I play basketball. So, those moments, like when my teammates are super happy for me, like those type of things, I think that's what every player wishes for, and not like all the like public and fame and all of that.
Franz, as you alluded to, you have a very supportive group. What was the environment like in the locker room after the game?
Yeah, it was obviously really cool. Everybody was super happy we got the win, and we're able to close out the road trip successful. And it was just I think everyone was just super happy we were able to get a big win on the road on a back-to-back.
Thanks, Boogie.
Yeah, thank you.